Alright, good luck both AIs. So I've got no idea who would be favorite in this game, honestly. Well, disappointed because what happened with Esty to Master is just a few bugs which were absolutely critical, and it's something which is definitely easy to fix, and I was pretty sure it was fixed. And it didn't appear in my test, so I feel like it played really bad compared to what I saw when I was working on it. That's why I feel really disappointed. I don't know if this Sergeant and SilverTongue already faced each other in another tournament. Maybe the one hosted by Rorrik, not sure. So, who is the favorite in your opinion? I think that I would put a coin on the Sergeant. It's a pretty clean exploration from Red. That's quite impressive. At least it found everything. And SilverTongue do have one ship missing only. Oh, okay, Randy. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens between those two areas. And I also forgot that SilverTongue goes for crossbows in Castle Age. And this sergeant is ready to research Castle Age as soon as possible. We've got blacksmith market. Everything goes fine. I'll decrease the speed to see what happens with those arches. Pretty good tower here. I assume that SilverTongue doesn't use any micro for its arches, so that can be hard against the knight from the sergeant. If the sergeant goes for knights, actually I don't see any stable. Alright, it goes for Janissaries, interesting. At least it will need a castle as soon as possible. Oh, the stable is pretty far. Not the stable, the TC I mean. That's the first mistake from this sergeant. But at least the castle is in a pretty decent position. It just protects all the forward, all the front of the town. Okay, maybe fast imperial, interesting. Yeah, it could be. Well, I don't see why it would build a second TC if it goes for a fast imperial. But maybe. It was close to be a TC rush. Yeah, it's more like boom Janissaries. So SilverTongue will need some ramps. Right, crossbows can be good against Janissaries, but it needs a lot. And going for light cavalry could be a good option also for red, added to the Janissaries. So inside, SilverTongue does have already 30 arches. That's a decent population. Alright, crossbows is researched as expected. So boom, 3 TCs plus Janissaries. Alright, here we go with the crossbows. But it will have to deal with this castle in the front. Oh well, the next castle is definitely risky to be built there. This sergeant is going to be really lucky if that castle is built at time. University. We are looking. Okay, we were looking for siege workshop. Now we need rams. Maybe 4 rams. Let's compare the civilian population each side. That's a huge advantage now for red. 80 civilian population against 60. And we've got a second ram, okay. Well, this sergeant better to garrison its janissaries. Okay, we've got an interesting stable here. Alright, we've got skirmishers as the counter unit to face the crossbows. And here we go with 4 rams. A first ram in action. It's a bit sad that this ram is sent all alone. But the 3 next ram will be definitely more effective. Alright, the villager is doing the job. Alright, now the castle will fall. And red is in Imperial Age pretty soon now, with almost the same amount of civilian population. Oh, if the crossbows came to help the rams, it would be better. Well, the castle is down just at time. Not too bad for SilverTongue. So what to do now for red? At least it is in Imperial Age right now, but it needs military. At least we've got some hussars. Good to see a mangonel. Yeah, having broken that castle was pretty important for SilverTongue, because it can now press its opponents, and we've got a nice castle which is a forward one. Yeah, we definitely have some interesting choices from SilverTongue. So the sergeant, does it have something to attack the Ramu's villagers? It seems to be not the case. Oh, this castle is damaging. So red is kind of low pop compared to blue. We don't have much army each side, but clearly blue does have a clear advantage, especially with that castle in the front. And going skirmishers to deal with the crossbows is not ideal when you are Turkish. But well, hussars are doing the job anyway. So it looks like blue keeps going for crossbows with a bunch of siege rams, monks. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes for hussars maybe. Yep, we've got hussars. So I think that's the lake of arbalest for Turkish. Might force SilverTongue to switch for another unit now. Alright, Blue's army is increasing slowly but surely. Actually, we've got 30 military population, while Red is 10 military population, which are almost hussars. Yeah, definitely the main unit was Janissaries, but Red doesn't have castles anymore. Do Red have GCs? Oh, red lost its last TC, so that's gonna turn difficult now. There is a lake of wood. It looks like the sergeant is actually losing this game. It's maybe not the strongest strategy of this sergeant. Alright, good game. Way better than the match before. I don't know if what SilverTongue or this sergeant can do against Dedrick, which is a pretty aggressive AI. But at least them facing each other makes the game pretty interesting. Alright, we go for the 2v2 now. So, civilization this time are gonna be Mirror for SilverTongue plus Paul, and the sergeant is gonna be Aztec and Frankish. Alright. Yeah, I agree with you, Leif. Aztec and Frankish are common AIs, common civilizations for the general or the sergeant. So let's have a look at the opponents SilverTongue faced during the pre-qualification and then the qualification. Oh, there is something interesting. In the pre-qualification, the first opponent of SilverTongue was an AI called the General Original, and SilverTongue won 2-1. After this, it had a round robin again in the pre-qualification against the General, no, the Sheriff, sorry, and SilverTongue lost 1-2 against the Sheriff, and then it won 2-1 against an AI called Itzamna. Then in the qualification, let's check. Alright, SilverTongue won against Ruffle, a team composed with Leif Ericson, Afu, and two other AIs, don't remember the names. And SilverTongue won 2-0, then it won 2-1 against Firex, 2-1 against Delirium Omega, and 3-0 against Crusade 4.42. So here we go for the Sergeant. Alright. This Sergeant won its first game against BD Genland 2-0. It won 3-0 against Not a Knight, 3-0 against East Spain Special, and in the qualification stage, the Sergeant lost 3-0 against Scriptoff, then it won 3-0 against Siege Master and 3-0 against Grasshopper. That's it. Alright, so let's focus on the Polish SilverTongue. Yeah, maybe SilverTongue is not optimized for Polish. Anyway, each side this Sergeant goes for its classic fast castle as Aztec, and so as Frankish. So that's maybe interesting to see how SilverTongue can deal with those eagles and those knights each side. I think I can increase a bit the speed at the moment. So, archers for Polish and same for Aztec. No specific strategy here. A quite exposed gold for the blue player, unfortunately. Green just have a way better map. Let's go for this area assault. pretty good tower for yellow. And same for red. It's quite impressive to see how good those towers are in their position. Okay, how long it will take for red to have the Eagle's Warriors upgrade? And these tables are in the back maybe to keep them invisible to the opponents. And do we have any reaction from blue as soon as it did Scissors Knights? Actually, we don't see any Spearman. Alright, at this point, perfect game from the Sergeant. Blue does have a decent economy. It should be able to research Castle Age, not too far away. And same for green. Alright, we've got the Eagle's Warriors for red. And blue does have already +1 defense. Pretty nice to see a lumber camp, milling camp which is built in a safer place. Archers are dealing very well, both sides I would say. And we've got a bunch of spearmen which are trained at least by green. A second TC for yellow. And already 2 TCs for red. And blue is kind of confident. It is actually building a siege workshop. University is built pretty fast. Do you know if it means green will research ballistic as soon as possible? Maybe. Let's compare the population. Yeah, it stays pretty close, I would say. Not a huge advantage taken from having researched Castle Age way faster than the opponent, the Sergeant side. We've got 3 TCs for red, and yellow keeps having 2 TCs. SilverTongue knows how to boom with already a second TC here. And I thought this, yeah, okay, 2 TCs. And 3 TCs for blue. Okay, the third TC actually for green. Second Rorrik. And this time blue targets red. So does green. Or maybe blue. Yeah, blue targets yellow again for some reasons. Yeah, the choice of units makes actually the big difference. It's a shame blue goes for spearman. It's maybe to counter the knight from yellow, but red being the closest enemy, I'm not sure it's a good idea. I think that SilverTongue just doesn't know how to counter eagles. Alright, compare the population. Oh! Player 2 is researching Imperial Age. That can hurt so much as Aztec in Imperial Age. Well, for some reason it goes also for elite skirmishers. Just pure eagles was clearly enough. Alright, let's go for the big battle. And we've got the elite Eagles warriors, which are doing a great job. And indeed the skirmishers are doing what they were trained for. Well, it looks to be an harassment non-stop now from red. Nice to see a trebuchet. Other side, the game looks more close. Well, this sergeant being Imperial Age, both sides, so that's gonna be hard now for SilverTongue. Yeah, definitely the sergeant loves skirmishers in late game. Alright, it looks like this sergeant had its revenge in this 2v2. Indeed, with the civilization, this sergeant is pretty strong. So, let's go for the 4v4 now. So I don't know if Leif will be happy with the civilization for the 4v4. Alright, this time SilverTongue will be Mirror plus Malian Ethiopian and Korean. Okay, I made a mistake. Korean is for SilverTongue, and the sergeant will be Khmer. Magyar. Alright. Turkish again. And Spanish. Just let me check if I did any mistake, but I think it's right. Yep, it's right. Alright, let's go. So, it's gonna be interesting to see if this sergeant has Turkish pocket, do something different than what he did during the 1v1. I think that the same strategy would work as pocket. So, as Turkish, it looks like the strategy is gonna be the same than in the 1v1, and as Spanish, it looks to be kind of the same strategy, with Conquistador this time. And once again, we've got a decent tower. Alright, as Khmer, we see already some stables, a fast castle. I assume that Magyar is a pretty good civilization for the sergeant. So every SilverTongue is researching Castle Age except Grey, which already suffered a lot against those so many knights. Everything looks fine, both sides for the sergeant. Interesting to see this cooperation between Conquistador and Janissaries. I actually don't know what is the rule to make the pocket being the target player from SilverTongue, but it's working quite well. And once again, this is a Turkish player which is dying on the sergeant side. And I would say that this assault against purple is working pretty well in the north, because now orange is gonna be 1 versus 2. At least grey has been defeated, but red and yellow needs to keep pressing its side. The next opponent being teal. Alright, so red side, which is Imperial Age. We've got Rangianers plus Cavaliers. I was looking for elephants. And we might see paladins for yellow. Well, that's definitely a edge pressure, 1 versus 3 for the poor orange. Attacked from every side. Well, Grey managed to survive. And definitely the Paladins are doing a great job. Yellow side. Magia is definitely a good civilization for the Sergeant. And I think that the weakness for red is the lack of civilian population. It's quite low, I would say, for a late Imperial Age game. Okay, we've got elephants eventually from Khmer. And it looks like this game is for the Sergeant eventually. And the trade route is really decent. Alright, blue is low pop, yellow, green is dead. Yeah, game is definitely over. So congratulations, this Sergeant. It was quite a good game. Alright. So, 2 wins for the Sergeant, which takes the second place. I think that this group can be close. Even if Esty Master lost 3-0 against Dedrick, I think it can take games against SilverTongue and the Sergeant. So definitely this group will be something to focus. Anyway, thank you for watched. I'm kind of tired now, so I will stop the stream for now. And if I'm right, MrElephant might stream games today. I assume that he will run Shadow versus the two, and maybe why not the survivalist games. That could be pretty cool. So see you. Thanks.